Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video, we're going to be making a men's beanie, men's tam, whatever you want to call it, using the following things. Alright, so first we're going to use two different colors of yarn, okay? We're going to use a stitch marker. If you don't have one like this, you can use a paper clip or yarn of a different color or even a safety pin. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using this US crochet hook, size 7 millimeters. And then you're going to need a darning, weaving, tapestry needle. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to take our first color, which will, by the way, be the main color, and we will make a slip knot. So just wrap it over your finger, twist, exchange. Pull that over your finger. Pull this one, the one behind, over the front one and off your finger while pulling up. Okay, then we will insert our US size 7 millimeter crochet hook in there and we'll pull to tighten. We are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those last 3 chains that we made will serve as a double crochet. Okay, and we're going to put the rest of the stitches in that very first chain that we made. So yarn over, because we're making double crochets, go back to that first chain and you can get 2 loops like that. Yarn over, pull through to the front, you'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Alright, we have 2 stitches. We only made 1 double crochet, but remember that chain 3 is counting as a stitch, so we have 2 stitches. We're going to continue to add double crochets into that same first chain until we get a total of 15 stitches, and remember that counts that chain 3 as a stitch. So I'll do another one. Yarn over, because we're making a double crochet, enter that very first chain, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Now we have 3 stitches. The chain 3 counts as 1, the first double crochet we made counts as 2, and the double crochet we just made counts as 3. So continue putting double crochets into that first chain, and I'll meet you once I get 15 stitches. See you there. Alright, I have 14 stitches. I have 1 more. So I'll go into the hole, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Now I have a total of 15 stitches, counting that chain 3. Alright, so now we're going to slip stitch into the second chain up, so 1, 2. Alright, and then we'll yarn over and pull all the way through. Alright, we just completed round 1, which I just said has 15 stitches. Now we're beginning round 2. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and for round 2, we're going to put 2 stitches in every stitch. So right now, that chain 3 in round 1 has this chain 3 in it. We're going to add a double crochet right into the same place where we put that slip stitch, okay, to connect round 1. So yarn over, enter the same place where you slip stitched, and make a double crochet. Alright, so that chain 3 from round 1 now has this chain 3, which is 1 stitch, and then the double crochet, which is the second stitch. The next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochet, because every stitch in round 2 will get 2 stitches. 1, and then go back in there for 2. The next stitch, we'll get 2. 1, back in there for 2. Alright, so continue putting 2 stitches in every stitch around, and I will meet you once we get to the last stitch. See you there. So we're back around, and I am at this last stitch, and I'm going to put 2 double crochet in there. So 1, back in there for 2. Alright, now it's time to connect round 2. Okay, so do exactly what you did for round 1. Here's the chain 3. You'll go up 2 chains, 1, 2, and we're going to slip stitch into that second chain up. So now yarn over and pull all the way through. Alright, round 2 has 30 stitches because we put 2 stitches in every stitch around. Okay, round 1 15, round 2 30. Chain 3 now. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put one stitch and one double crochet into the same place where we just slip stitched, which basically means that that chain 3 from round 2 has 2 stitches in it. It has that chain 3, which is 1 stitch, and the double crochet, which is the second stitch. Then we go to the next stitch and we're only going to put 1 stitch in it, and that's going to be our pattern 2, 1. So that means the next stitch, which is there, we'll get 2 double crochet, 1 back in there for 2, and then the next stitch will get 1. Okay, and then the next stitch will get 2. So just keep repeating the pattern 2, 1, 2, 1, and I will meet you once you get back to that last stitch. See you there. The second to last stitch, I just put 2 in it, and so that means this last stitch will get 1. So you should end on the 1. 1. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up, yarn over and pull all the way through. So round 3, the round we just completed and connected with that slip stitch, has 45 stitches. You should have 45 stitches at this point. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now the pattern will be 2, 1, 1. Okay, so this first stitch should get 2 stitches. This chain 3 there from round 3 should have 2 stitches in it. Right now it has 1, which is that chain 3. So we're going to put a double crochet in the same place that we slip stitched. And now it has 2 stitches. That chain 3 has that chain 3 and that double crochet, which is the second stitch. Now we move on to the next one, which will get only 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch, which will also only get 1 double crochet. So that's the pattern 2, 1, 1, which means the next stitch will get 2 double crochet, 1 back in there for 2, next stitch 1, next stitch 1. So 2, 1, 1. Continue in this fashion, and I will meet you once we get back around to that last stitch there. See you there. Alright, I'm down to my last 3 stitches, and I just want to show you that you end on the second one. So next stitch is the pattern repeat, the beginning of it, and that stitch gets 2, next stitch 1, last stitch 1. So that last stitch gets the second one. Now we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up, pull all the way through, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so round 1, 15 stitches, round 2, 30, round 3, 45, round 4, which we just completed, 60, and now we're on to round 5. And this one will also have 60 stitches because we're only going to put 1 stitch into every stitch around. This chain 3 from round 1, 2, 3, 4, from round 4 has the 1 stitch in it, that chain 3, and so the next stitch is there, we'll put a double crochet. So 1 stitch, next stitch, into every stitch around, next stitch, like that. Okay, that's the pattern, 1 stitch in every stitch around. Alright, continue in this fashion, and I will meet you once I get there. See you soon. So we're back around. I've put that 1 double crochet in the last stitch, so I'm going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up, pull all the way through, and as I said, round 5 maintained 60 stitches because it was not an increased round. We just put 1 stitch in every stitch around, so it you should have the same number of stitches as you had in round 4, which is 60. Also, you might notice that it's starting to curve a little bit, right? It's because we did a non-increase round. But we're going to do one more increase round before we go back to non-increase rounds. So for round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and this time the pattern will be 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so right now we only have 1 stitch in that chain 3 from round 5, so we need to add a double crochet. So as always, go into the same place where you put the slip stitch. That's 2, and now the next 3 stitches will just get 1 double crochet. Next stitch, that's 2, next stitch, 3, and now the pattern repeats. Next stitch, this will get 2, so back in there for the second stitch, and now the 3 1 double crochets, okay, or 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3. Okay, and you guys don't forget, you can always slow the video down on YouTube. So the pattern is 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 1. This is going to be 2 1 1 1. Continue in this fashion, and I will meet you once we get back around to the last 4 stitches. See you there. Alright, so I am down to my last 4 stitches, and I'm at the pattern repeat, so the next stitch will get 2. Back in there for the second one, and then the last 3 stitches will get 1 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, we'll slip stitch into the 1 2 second chain up. Alright, and now we're going to chain 3, 1 2 3, and we're going to start the non-increase rounds again. Okay, so I'm going to take my stitch marker, I'm just going to put that in the bottom chain 1 there, like that. Alright, and now I'm going to go around and put 1 stitch into every stitch below. This chain 3 has that chain 3, so that's the 1 stitch for that one. In this next stitch, that double crochet right there, I'm going to put a double crochet, and then the next one, double crochet, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'll meet you once I get back around to this last stitch. See you there. And if you're wondering, round 6 you should have had 75 stitches, and round 7, the one we just were working on, that I'm back around from, because it was a non-increase round, a round where we just maintain the same number of stitches, you should also have 75 stitches. Alright, so we're back to the stitch marker there. We will slip stitch into the 1 2 second chain up, like that, and pull all the way through. Okay, alright, chain 3, 1 2 3, and at this point I want you to do 4 more rounds of non-increase. Okay, do 4 more rounds just like this last round that we just did. Okay, so you'll do 4 more rounds. So you have this round, round 7, round 8, which I'm starting, okay, round 9, round 10, and then round 11. So after 4 more rounds from the stitch marker, you will be at round 12. So this is round 7, and then 4 more, round 8, round 9, round 10, round 11 complete, and then we will start at round 12. Okay, so I will see you once we complete those 4 rounds. See you there. Alright, so we've added our 4 rounds, and remember you should have a total of 5 from the stitch marker round. So 1 2 3 4 5. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch into the 1 2 second chain up from the top or from the bottom. Alright, and instead of yarning over with the yarn we were just working with, we're going to bring in that other color, our second color. So just hook it on your finger like that, and I'll put it on the hook and pull all the way through, like that. So now you're starting with that new color. Now we're going to fold this back, pull it, and then we're going to tie a knot between the yarn of the color we were just working with and the tail of the new color. So 1, not super tight, and then 2, and this one will be much tighter, like that. Okay, now if you're wondering, what are we going to do with the working iron? We're going to cut it? No, we're just going to put it off to the side, but we are going to work with the new color now. So we're going to chain 3 like normal, 1 2 3. Okay, and what we're going to do now is start a crisscross round. Okay, so this chain 3, you know, that usually counts as a double crochet, and it will be no different, it still does. So we have our 3 chains, and what we're going to do is this is going to be a crisscross round. So we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to come back to it, but for right now we're going to go into the second stitch away. So 1 2, okay, and we're going to put a double crochet in there. like that. Okay, now we're going to go back into that stitch that we skipped and put a double crochet in there. So yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and then yarn over and pull through to the front, and you'll still have 3 loops like you would any other time you're making a double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, and that creates the crisscross. So now that we've made that crisscross, it's time to make the next one. Well, these were the 2 stitches we just worked into. This technically is the next stitch, but remember you want to crisscross, so we're going to skip that one and go over to that one, put our double crochet in it like that, and now go back to the stitch we skipped, which is there, and make a double crochet. Yarn over, go through 2. My yarn is trying to split. And yarn over, go through 2. Okay? Let's do it again. Always look at what was the last stitch moving to the left that you worked into. Well, it was that one. So the next stitch is that one, but we always skip the very next one and go into the one thereafter. So yarn over, skip that one, go into that one, make your double crochet, and then go back to the one you skipped, which is there, and make the double crochet. Alright, I'll show you one more time. This is the last stitch to the left that we worked into, so this is the next one which we're going to skip because we're doing the crisscross. So go into this one, slice the icing, and then we go back, okay, to the one that we skipped, which is there. Okay, and you get this crisscross round. Okay, so continue in this fashion and I will meet you once we get back over here. See you there. So we are down to our last 2 stitches, that one and that one. This was the 3rd one away that we worked into, right? So we have these 2 left. So yarn over, skip the next one and go into the last stitch, make a double crochet, and then go back into the skipped stitch for a double crochet. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up using that same color like that, but we're going to switch back to the other color and we're going to cut this yarn here. Okay, so we will cut that beautiful turquoise or teal color and we're going to yarn over with the former color, the original color, the main color, and pull through and then pull on the tail to make that loop disappear. And now we're going to tie a couple of knots between the tail of the second color, first one, and then a second tighter one, and the original color. Alright, so now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, and we're going to crochet over this tail. You can cut it down if you want, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have our chain 3. This is going to be a decrease round. Okay, so this counts as 1 stitch. We're going to make 4 more double crochets, 1 in each of the next 4 stitches, and then we're going to decrease on that 6th and 7th stitch. Let me show you. So this is 1, double crochet into the next stitch, which is there. So just slice the icing at the top of the cake. That's 2. I'm supposed to be crocheting over this tail, so I can do that. Yarn over. Okay, that's 3. Yarn over. Next one. That's 4. There is 5. Okay. So we've made 5 stitches if we count that chain 3 at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over these next 2, that's the 6 and 7, we're going to decrease. So yarn over, slice the icing. I'm still crocheting over that tail. Yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Before completing it, we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, which is there. Still crocheting over that tail. Okay, 4 loops, yarn over, go through the first 2, 1, 2. And now we have 3 loops, so we yarn over, go through all 3, and that's the decrease. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6, 7 we decreased. these two stitches became one, as is evidenced by that one top for those two stitches. Let's do it again. So one, next one, two, next one, three, yarn is splitting, next one, four, next one, five. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now on the 6, 7, we're going to decrease. So yarn over in the next one, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Then, before completing that, yarn over, enter the next one. Yarn over, pull through to the front, 4 loops, yarn over, only go through the first 2. 1, 2. Now we're left with 3 loops, we yarn over and go through all 3. Okay, so that's the pattern, and we will keep doing that pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease on 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease on 6, 7 until we get back around here. I will see you there. I just completed a 6, 7, and now I have 5 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in the remaining 5 stitches. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's no 6, 7 at that end. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up. You can get in there. I like to get 2 loops, you guys know that. There we go. Yarn over and pull all the way through. Alright, so this is what that looks like. Kind of cool, right? Alright, so now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to start alternating between front post and back post. Okay? So this chain 3 has that chain 3. The next stitch is there. So we're going to do a front post double crochet, yarn over from the front, come around the back and back out just on the other side of the stitch to the front, yarn over, pull through, go back the way you came, and then when you rotate that around, you'll see you have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. That's our front post double crochet. Now it's time to make a back post. Yarn over, from the back this time, come out to the front, go just on the other side of the stitch, back out to the back, yarn over, and just pull through like that, and you'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Now back to the front post. Yarn over from the front, around the back, back out to the front, yarn over, pull through the way you came, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Now it's time for the back post. Yarn over from the back of the next stitch, come out on the right side, around the front, back out to the back. And now we're going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, now we have 3 loops. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, and we're just going to keep alternating front post and back post. Okay, that's the pattern. Front post and back post. Like that. Okay, so keep alternating in that manner, and I will meet you once we get back around to this last stitch. See you there. I just pulled out a few because I just noticed something. Remember how we decreased on the previous round? This right here is a decreased stitch. So before, when I showed you, I only went around that right side one, that right one, but these two are actually together. So the last one I did was a back post, so that means that this stitch, as is evidenced by that one top, should get a front post. So that means I should yarn over, come from the front, and not come out there, right? Because that's only half of this one stitch. I should go all the way to the other side, because these two were decreased to 1 stitch, as is evidenced by that top. So come out all the way on the other side like that, yarn over, and pull through. Okay, and then make your front post double crochet. Okay, so now back post is just 1, front post is 1, back post is 1, front post is 1, back post is 1, and now I'm at another decrease. See that one top for those 2 stitches? It's the front post again. So yarn over. How do I know it's a front post? Because that last one was a back post. So I'm alternating front post, back post. So from the front, don't come out there. That's splitting that 1 stitch. From the front, back around all the way to the other side, because those 2 bodies are for that 1 stitch. Now yarn over, pull through, and then that makes your front post for that 1 stitch. If we come out in the center there and we split it, then we're accidentally increasing, and we don't want to do that because we want this opening to get smaller at this point. Okay? Alright, I just want to show you that. So now I will check back in once we get back around to the beginning of this round. See you there. Alright, so I've made it back around and I ended on a back post. Something I want to mention is, remember those decreased stitches? Anytime that I needed to do a post on the 2 decreased stitches, which was just 1 stitch, it was always a front post. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that anytime I had to do a post on the decreased stitch, it was always a front post. Alright, so now we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2 second chain up like that, and now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we're just going to match the stitches, so this will be easy. So we see for this one we did a front post, so we're going to do a front post again. So from the front, around the back, back out to the front, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. The next stitch, which is kind of hiding there, but if you spread it, you see that's the back post. We did a back post double crochet, so we're going to do a back post into that stitch. From the back to the front, back out to the back, yarn over, pull through, and make your double crochet. Front post is here. We did a front post, so we're going to match it with the front post. Spread it there, that's the back post, so we're going to match it by doing a back post on that stitch. So all of your front posts will line up, all your back posts will line up. Front post, back post, front post, back post. Okay, so that's easy enough. So just continue matching your stitches, and I will meet you once you get back around here. See you there. We're back around to that last stitch, and remember it was a back post, so we'll put a back post double crochet into it because we're matching the stitches. Here's that chain 3, slip stitch into the 1, 2 second chain up. Alright, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to do 2 more rounds of matching the stitches. So do exactly what you just did in the previous round. So look at the stitch, see what it is. Oh, that's a front post double crochet. So I'm going to put a front post double crochet into it. Next stitch, oh, that's a back post double crochet because it's sitting in back. So I'm going to put a back post double crochet into it. And continue on. So do this round and do another round exactly like this round and the one before, and I will meet you after you've completed 2 more rounds. See you there. Alright, I just put my last stitch in the last stitch round, which of course is still the back post double crochet. Alright, so now I'm going to slip stitch into the 1, 2 second chain up, and now I'm going to chain 2. Alright, so now we're done with this alternating between front post and back post double crochet. Now we're just going to put a half double crochet into every stitch. Okay, so with the half double crochet, you yarn over, slice the icing off the top of the cake or the stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, just like with the double crochet, 3 loops. But this time when we yarn over, we go through all 3 loops or everything on the crochet hook. Okay, here's that back post back there. We're just putting 1 half double crochet in every stitch. So slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through everything. Back to the front post there, just a half double crochet. Back post there, half double crochet. Okay, so just continue putting half double crochet stitches into every stitch around, and I will meet you once we get back to this chain 2. See you there. Alright, I'm almost back around. Got 4 more stitches. Make sure you don't miss those back post double crochets. Okay, so there's a back post. front post, and don't miss that last back post as soon as I get my yarn from not being split, because you guys know I'm a perfectionist. There we go. Alright, yeah, don't forget that back post there. Alright, now we're going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, the second chain up, or the top chain in this case, because we only chained 2 that time, and we'll pull through like that. So now we're going to go back to our turquoise color, okay? So we'll grab that, bring it in, hook it on our finger like that, pull that through like that, and then tug on that to make that loop disappear. And now we're going to tie a couple of knots between the tail of the new color and the one we just put down. We're not going to cut it because we're going to go back to it, okay? And now we'll move this color out of the way while we're working with this turquoise. So we'll chain 2, 1, 2. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to still do half double crochets, but we're going to skip a stitch in between. So this is the chain 2 there, and we have that chain 2. That's for that stitch. This is the next stitch, which is that half double crochet, but we're going to skip it. And we're going to put a half double crochet into the next one. But to get us over there, we're going to chain 1 like that. So this chain 2 will be for that chain 2. That last chain that we just made, the third one, will be over that stitch that we're skipping. And then we're going to go to the next half double crochet and put a half double crochet. Okay, so it'll be like that. And now from here on out, we're just going to chain 1, skip 1, and go into the next one and put a half double crochet. Like that. Chain 1, skip 1, and then the next one thereafter put a half double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, and then the next one thereafter put a half double crochet. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Continue doing this and I will meet you once we get back around there. See you there. Alright, down to my last 2 stitches. So chain 1, skip 1, skip that one, and then in this last one make our half double crochet like that. Slip stitch into the 1, 2, second chain up, and that's going to leave that third chain, that space, that chain 1 space there. So slip stitch like that. Okay, and now we're going to cut this yarn, and we're going to bring back in the color, the original color, the main color, like that. And just pull on that to make that loop disappear, and then tie a couple of knots. I know this is a lot of color changing in this area, but it's gonna look amazing. Alright, so now we're gonna chain only 1, because for this round we're going to be making single crochets, and I'm going to crochet over that tail. So remember in the previous round I chained 2 and then I chained 1 there to get me, because I skipped that stitch there, right? So I'm going to crochet single crochets. I'm going to put 1 single crochet into that chain 1 space. I'm going to crochet over that tail while I'm doing it, like that, like that. Okay, so that's 1 single crochet for that chain 1 space, and now I'm going to go into the half double crochet there and put a single crochet in there. So every stitch and space will get 1 single crochet. I'm at this chain 1 space now, so I'm going to put a single crochet, and now I'm at this half double crochet, and so I'm going to put in, keeping my tail on top, put a single crochet, and just get into the top of the stitch where you can. Okay, now I'm in this chain 1 space, so put a single crochet. Now I'm in this half double crochet, single crochet, chain 1 space, single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet, chain 1 space, single crochet, half double crochet. I'm putting a single crochet, chain 1 space, single crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. So I'm always putting a single crochet in whatever I'm crocheting it into, okay? Whether it's the chain one space, like right here, or whether it's the half double crochet and I'm slicing the icing off the top of the cake or the stitch, okay? So continue putting single crochets in your chain one spaces and then your half double crochets, and I'll meet you back around there. But you guys can already see the cool pattern this is making, right? Those gaps, I love it. See you in a bit. All right, so I'm back around, and here's that chain one that we started. So I'm going to bypass that, and I'm going to go right into the first single crochet that I made, and I'm just going to slip stitch in there. All right, so now I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to put a single crochet into the same place that I just chained one, and now I'm just going to do one more round of single crochets, putting one single crochet into every single crochet below. Okay, we're almost done. All right, so I'll meet you once we get back there. See you soon. So I got 2 more stitches. I'm just going to put one single crochet in each one, and then the last one is there, 2, and then there's that chain one, but it's kind of flat, so I'm just going to go to the actual single crochet there and make a slip stitch. I'm going to cut my yarn and fasten off. Okay, now I'm going to turn this around like this, and I'm going to go into the stitch nearby or just below it. If you have a smaller crochet hook, this would be easier to do. Pull it through, so yarn over, pull through like that, and chain one, and then pull through like that, and that will make a little knot for you. Okay, then you can cut this down. It tends toward the inside, and that will always serve as your tag or tail. Alright, and then we can take out the stitch marker now. Could have taken that out a long time ago, but it's fine. Alright, and if this opening is still too big for you guys, then you can always use this elastic bead cord. I have a video showing you how to use this, and it also prevents your tam, your beanie, from getting stretched out because of the elasticity of this bead cord. It'll always keep it nice and snug on your head. Okay, so I will leave a link to that video so you can see how to do that if you need to. You can add more single crochet rounds if you want. You can do some decrease rounds at this point if it's still too big. If you don't want the tam to be this big, maybe you're making it for someone with a smaller head, then you can decrease the number of alternating front posts and back post double crochet rows. I mean, you have options, okay? So but yeah, I made this so that it will fit my head. This will fit the head of an adult large a large adult head. And if you want to make it for like a woman or a child, then don't do as many increase rows in the beginning. I think we ended with the pattern 2, so it's 2 and then 1 1 1. So maybe you only go to the increase round of 2 1 1, right? And then start to follow everything else that I said. So you have options, okay? But yeah, I love this tam, and I hope you do too. And that's gonna be it for today's video. But I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.